to re-examine its decision not to prosecute a horse rider who ran over a hunt saboteur, leaving her seriously injured. The protester was in hospital for 2 weeks after the incident. The hunt involved say it was an accident, and the CPS originally said there was insufficient evidence for a prosecution. Our Somerset correspondent Clinton Rogers has the story.
Keep an eye on the two people on the right. This is the moment when protest turned painful.
She's on the ground, unconscious.
It happened during a meeting of the Blackmore and Sparkford Vale hunt on the border of Somerset and Dorset last August. It left the woman protester with a collapsed lung and 7 broken ribs. She spent 2 weeks in hospital. Originally, the huntsman involved was arrested on suspicion of causing actual bodily harm. But this month, the case was dropped by the Crown Prosecution Service, who said there was insufficient evidence that the incident could have been foreseen.
Please tell me.
Today, the victim, who asked not to be identified, said she felt let down by the legal system.
I'm beyond disappointed. I feel absolutely abandoned by a system that's supposed to be there to protect me.
The master of the Blackmore and Sparkford Vale hunt today apologised to the injured woman, but insisted it was an accident.
We're truly sorry that the accident happened in the first place, but we've been there with the police and the CPS and let the CPS run the course of what they've investigated, and it's up to them. It's nothing to do with us.
But hunt protesters, angered by the CPS decision to drop legal proceedings, yesterday tried to disrupt a point-to-point meeting organised by the hunt. They say the decision is legally flawed.
Well, I think the incident was so serious and the injuries so serious that a court of law should have made the decision. A court of law with a jury and not someone in the CPS office.
Tonight, the BBC can reveal that the Crown Prosecution Service has decided to look again at this case under what's known as the Victim Writers' Review Scheme, which was introduced in 2013. Lawyers will study the evidence again, and I understand they will come to a decision in the next week or two. Clinton Rogers, BBC Points West in Somerset.
So, in this case, the Crown Prosecution Service has now agreed to review their decision not to bring a prosecution, but what can you do in other cases if you want to try and change the CPS's mind? Well, joining us now is lawyer Nicholas Clough. Thank you very much for coming in. So the CPS's decision then, is it not final?
No, it's not final. They have the Victim Rights Review Scheme was referred to, and the guidelines to those that was finalised in July of last year. And it sets down certain timeframes. If you feel aggrieved by the Crown Prosecution decision, what you do is you've got 5 days to write to them and tell them you're aggrieved. They will take a complaint up to 3 months, but that's as far as they go. And then they have 10 days to either overturn their decision or send it to independent review. And if they send it to an independent review, the independent review have to report back to you as the victim within 30 days of your complaint.
Well, that's very interesting as well, that it's within a certain time frame. So can people ask for review on anything, or is it only something that's been referred to the CPS? Presumably if the police don't want to take it to the CPS anyway, then it can't even go to that.
That's probably right. It's only a review of the CPS decision. And where it goes from there, if the CPS decision are not satisfied with the independent review, I suppose you could go to the High Court for judicial review.
And has it been successful, an appeal?
I don't know of one that has been successful as yet, but it's early days. It's only since July of last year. And although people will complain, I'm sure, that once they know about the scheme isn't all that well known about.
Who can appeal? Is it just the victim?
The victim is very widely drawn. The victim includes bereaved family of somebody who's died, parents of a child, police officers who are victims, and family spokesmen for families.
And does it undermine the decisions that the CPS have made in the first place?
I don't think so, because every government body should be subject to review. And that's exactly what's happening. It's the victim saying, I'd like you to review the decision we've made.
Oh, well, it's very interesting, because as you say, I'm sure a lot of people didn't know about it, but do now. Nicholas Clough, as ever, thank you very much for coming in today.
My pleasure.
Now, another news, a murder